Alright everybody, so this is a review of estimating quotients in lesson 6.2 that we did a couple days ago. I believe it was not yesterday but the day before. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over that with you and give you some example problems, and then if you want some extra practice with estimating quotients, then you have your disposable workbook that you keep at home or that you travel to and from home to school and to school and from home, with that has extra practice problems in there, and that's actually where I'm going to pull a couple of the practice problems here. So if you want to follow along and get your book out, then you're more than welcome to do so, and then you can try some on your own for extra practice. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Get my pen here. Alright, so when we estimate quotients, you don't get an exact quotient. You're getting an estimate. So that means that you are looking for a roundabout answer. It's an estimation of what you think the answer could be, and is it reasonable based on the dividend and the divisor that you're given. So with that, I want you to think about this problem. 52 and 3/10 divided by 11 and 4/10. So whenever I think of estimation, there's two things I can do. I can round, or I can use compatible numbers. Sometimes it's easier to use compatible numbers or numbers that are close to the given numbers. So when you read a division problem, you're always going to read it by the dividend first. And I told you that, if this was written like this, the dividend is always inside the house because it's sitting in the den. And the way I remember that is dividend, it's in the den. The divisor, I have to say it funny, but the divisor is at the door of the house, and it's wanting to know how can it get into the den with the dividend. So how many times can I get it in there? That's just a silly way to remember those numbers. So the dividend always is read first. So we've got 52 and 3/10 divided by 11 and 4/10. So with estimation, like I said, you can round or you can use compatible numbers. For me, the easiest thing to do is to use compatible numbers most of the time. So you can round down and do an underestimate, or you can round up and do an overestimate, or use compatible numbers that are below, or use compatible numbers that are higher. Both either under or over estimates. Either of which doesn't really matter. So what I'm going to do is I like to do this a little bit different. Your book has this example, and it uses different numbers, but with estimation, the numbers can vary, and that's the beauty of it. So I look at 52.3 and I say that is really close to 50. And so I'm going to change it to 50. And then my divisor is 11.4. Well, I think 11 is close to 10. And both of those are compatible because 50 divided by 10 gives you a quotient of 5. And when you see a squiggle equal sign, that means about. So it's estimated to be about 5. I'm going to do another example. If you look at this was number 1 on page 81 in your 6.2 practice book. Number 2 has the same problem, but it gives you a different way of looking at it. It shows that 52, they rounded to 55 or used compatible to be 55, and they kept 11 the same. So if I were to do that, if I have 52.3 divided by 11.4, or 11 and 4/10, to use correct language, they said 52 is compatible with 55. It's a compatible number, and they made 11 stay the same. So your quotient is still, if you look over here, about 5. So no matter how you do it, you can get the same answer, you can get close to the same answer. And there's variations as far as what quotient you get. All right? So I'm going to do a couple more examples and then you can try on your own. This one is number 3. It is 25 1/10 divided by 8. So when I look at this problem, I see, okay, well, 8 is a whole number. What whole number is a multiple of that gets me close to 25? Well, I know that 25 is close to 24. And if I divide 24 by 8 and leave it the same, I'm going to get a quotient of about 3. Here's another example. 81 4/10 divided by, let's see, 10 3/100. Well, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, okay, well, 81 sure is close to 80. And I'm going to divide by 10. I'm just going to leave it 10. I'm making it easy for myself. 80 divided by 10 gives a quotient of about 8. Okay, so with estimation, your answers can vary. But hopefully this helps you in practicing for 6-2 and estimating. All right. If you have any questions, please bring them in to me and I will be happy to answer. Okay.